shit. Okay. Let me make sure. Did it? Okay. I have to like, it's live, so it's okay, but I'm like trying to. Okay. For Rachel. Okay.
You got, well, okay, they might not know. Everyone knows I suck at technology. I'm like old school.
Like,
I want to write stuff down if y'all have terrible handwriting, but like I can't. I suck at technology. I really do.
no, like I was having like a black girl moment for the last 15 minutes. And let me see. Is this lighting okay? Can you see me okay? Okay, because I like had like the blinds open, so sometimes it makes it
I got a
dark.
little light because I'm poor. So it's
Yeah, I need to have like a light too. Let me see. I wonder. I'm about to go get my. Let me see.
Hey, Bianca Webb. I don't know if she knows me, but I can see it. So.
That's not gonna
And my brother joined. Hi, brother. Well, he was.
Okay, whatever.
Oh,
so,
he is watching. Hi, brother.
Kind of like, I wonder if I go like this. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Come on, I see that melanin shining.
Because I was like, okay, shower. And then I was like trying to do my hair. I was having a black girl moment. I couldn't blend my leave out.
You
like
see
my
what's going on with my
here,
hair?
so
I was literally sitting here with my husband, like, what should I do with my hair? He was like, just, girl, leave it like that. I'm like, all right, I'm 30. Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Oh my God, right. So like, I literally was like, I looked at the time, it was like 1:01. Huh?
Jonathan.
Oh, hey y'all, thanks for joining. But yeah, I was just like, okay, I'm having like a black girl moment. So he was like, just put it in a ponytail. So I'm like, okay. So then it was like 15 minutes later, I'm like, oh my God, I hate being late. So
I don't have time.
I do apologize to everybody, but we are here. We're going to be live for about maybe 15 or 20 minutes or so because it is Rachel's husband's birthday. So happy birthday to him. And her birthday was yesterday.
He's in the living room with our daughter. So they're well, I can do this really quick.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, I don't usually have my lives be that long. So I just didn't get to send you like the play-by-play because it was just like MLK weekend. All of us were out. We're like, hey. So today's topic is going to be about seasonal affective disorder. I strategically brought Rachel Simone on because she has been very vocal about, fighting depression. She's very also passionate about mental health awareness. So I definitely wanted to bring her on because she lives in Michigan. I used to live in Michigan, but I'm in California where this type of thing wouldn't typically be prominent here because we get sunshine all year round. But in a place like Michigan or anywhere where it snows and has seasons, this team tends to be more prominent due to, lack of sunlight, the shorter winter hours, as well as the cold weather. So I wanted to bring you on specifically just to kind of ask you like, hey, are you familiar with what seasonal affective disorder is? Do you believe you are affected by it yourself? And then maybe what are some tips that you would provide?
Yeah. So like you said, living in Michigan, and I'm a January baby. My husband's birthday's today, but my birthday was yesterday. I just turned 30.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So usually every year it's like a snowstorm, right? So people who live down south, like you said, don't really understand that, or live in, like the West Coast, and they live in Cali and Vegas and all that kind of stuff, or they live in Atlanta and they have, their winters are 50 degrees or whatever it is. They don't understand that, what that seasonal depression is. And people, because mental health is so, cliche and people don't want to talk about it, they always say, well, it's just the winter time. That's why I feel down. And I'm like, girl, yeah, because it's seasonal depression. It's cool. Like, you can admit that. Like, that's what's going on. It happens all the time. Because Michigan, especially Michigan in general, it's just depressing. Michigan is just a depressing state. And the things that go on, we talk about living in Detroit and crime and all of these things that we are surrounded by that exist in our lives that we think we're not internalizing. We think we don't internalize the things that we watch and the music we listen to and the Facebook posts that we share and that we like. Those things happen. So on top of that, we're having 10 inches of snow, negative 20 degrees. Yeah. We don't want to go out. Our kids school is canceled. So, what do you do as a parent? We have to go to work. It's just a whole factor of things that happen. So I think what's the most important, people need to acknowledge.
Okay. Yeah.
can
I
sit
agree with
here
that.
and
Like, okay, so
you know, watch the booty popping, but we can't say, "Hey, I had a bad day today," or yeah,
right.
like dark and gloomy, all the way from history. Just being black, us being black right now, it's always been a negative thing. So when you think about the
For
winter
sure.
time in Michigan, when it's getting dark at 5 p.m., you know, you wake up to darkness and cold and all those things. There have always been negative things. Being cold has never been a positive thing. Well, unless you use urban slang, like, yeah, that girl cold, you know, but
Right.
literally being cold. You know what I'm saying?
No, but like I absolutely agree with what you just said. Obviously I did like my new website relaunch today. I didn't really do like a traditional relaunch where people like spam you a lot and all that. I'm like, hey, as you saw earlier, I got a new website. This is what the focus is gonna be, because I already have like a following. Yeah. It's like, look, we changed it. Okay. So, but no, I agree. I wrote a blog post on seasonal affective disorder as well, so people are able to go and read it. Now today the website is live. That's the same thing I said. Like, being from Michigan, I always just thought it was just like, I'm just depressed because it's the winter time. I'm a summer. See, my birthday's in the summer, so I'm a summer baby. That's what I thought it was. Like, oh my God, wintertime is so depressing. It's so depressing here, and I thought it was just that. I never really thought until I started educating myself that it really was linked to something. So when I'm like reading the symptoms and stuff, I'm like, yo, like this is really me. This is me both in the summer and the winter, because it's also like if you're affected by it in the winter, you're also affected by it in the summer. And so I just wanted to kind of point out some fast facts about like some symptoms that you may want to watch out for. So typically in the winter, you don't want to get up. I definitely suffer from that. I still suffer from it here because I think my body is used to going through it. But then it's like, it's kind of short lived now, because I'm realizing like, oh, like I'm looking at sunshine right now. Like, wait, like this is not an issue for me anymore. But like my body's so used to it that like I saw like I was going into it like, oh, I don't really want to get up today. And like that's like one of the symptoms of being affected by it in the winter. You have a negative outlook.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because my stepson, he's about to be 4. So, you know, kids are the most pure thing that you can find. So when the sun comes, he wakes up super early. When 6:30, 6:30. But he always says it's sun time. So he associates that with being up. But what people don't understand, that when they have those depressions and things, like the sun doesn't matter. Like your body is saying, nope, I don't want to be up, so I don't want to do that. So I now kind of reliving these things. Like we all need to kind of go back and tap into our childhoods. We need to go be kids again. When he wakes up, he's happy and he's excited. It's time to be up. When the sun is up, we need to be up, and we need to be active, and we need to be doing things. Whether you're in California or you're in Michigan, whatever your sun time is, you need to take advantage of that. And it's hard. I get that. Well, if you guys are watching, if you don't know me, well, follow me. I guess it's like a good time for shameless plug or whatever.
Right, a plug.
Yeah, I'm so like I've been through depression and anxiety. Like this is not something I'm just talking about. I've lived this. I live this still now. You have to force yourself to do what you know what you're supposed to do. Most of the time during the daytime, you're supposed to work. Whatever that work is, you need to do that, and you have to kind of force yourself and push yourself. Wait, somebody made a comment. That's me when the sun is up. I'm up when the sun goes down. I'm like, okay, it's time to go to bed. Yeah, exactly. And it's so funny when it gets dark. My stepson's like, oh, it's night time to go to bed. But that's really a good mentality when you think about it, to kind of keep yourself focused and structured. Yep, it's nighttime. It's time for me to go to bed. It's time for me to rest and lay. You know what I'm saying? Take that time to be comfort. But when it's time, when the sun's up, let's go to work. That's a really good mentality to have. And people, but again, because people don't want to acknowledge the fact that, like, when you talk about mental health and mental illnesses and things, it's so sensitive for people. Like, people can admit, like, oh, I got a broken ankle. You know, I broke my ankle. I got to get stitches. I got to do whatever. But it's so hard for people to say, like, oh, no, I'm depressed.
Yeah, or I have a broken spirit, or, you know, like everybody goes through things in life. And I just want to shout out my women that are on the broadcast. Thank you for watching, because I don't know if you guys know, seasonal affective disorder is more prominent, diagnosed 4 more times in women than it is men. So specifically for women, this is a very important broadcast for you guys to watch. Not only just it being that you live in the colder regions, but also if you're a woman, you're more likely to be affected by it, and it does run in your family. So if your mom is affected by it, you're most likely going to be affected by it. So, and that's the case with a lot of mental health issues. I myself also suffer from anxiety. Like, I for sure have anxiety disorder. I'm not on medication for it. I kind of just you know,
I'm
do my
not
own
girl,
thing and
but
figure
I'm
it
trying
out.
to figure out what's the best one. Okay, I'm not playing with y'all.
I don't even want to go to the doctor and be like, you know what I'm like. I'm like one of those people, like, I'm a part of the stigma. Like, I just don't want to, it's almost like you don't want to acknowledge it. You're very right. But it's like, you know, it's there. Like, I'm very self-aware as a person. So I know it's there, and I know it's like I have to do something about it. So like, you had made a status the other day, like, and you were very transparent about it. I love that about you. Like, hey, what do you have? You know, what can I do? Because I'm about to take some Xanax. Like, I love that.
2 seconds away from. I literally telling my mom, like, okay, so backtracking, but my grandma, like, she's old, but she randomly be taking Xanax, like, whatever, she get anxiety. And I was talking to my grandma, and I told my mom, like, should I take that? I'm not really big on medicine, and this is like,
yeah, me neither.
Back when, because in 2010 I tried to commit suicide, but I took a whole bunch of pills, and I'm realizing that the medicine was really why I tried that attempt. So I'm trying to like straight.
Yeah.
But you have to have something. We want to.
Yeah.
I've been working on this article for like 2 months. It's so crazy about pushing through. You know, that's our thing. Like, oh, push through shit, sis. Do this, do that. I'm not pushing through shit. You want to know why? Because that's what's killing us. We're trying to push through things that we need to acknowledge, things that we need to talk about, things that we need to say, yeah, I have this anxiety. I don't know how to deal with it. What should I do? Because especially when it comes to anxiety, a lot of it is like on set. So you get hype, or if you're sad, or if you're whatever, you have all these emotions and things.
And it comes out of nowhere sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out of nowhere sometimes. Like, I try to explain that to my roommate, because I don't know if he like just thinks it's like, oh, I'm being dramatic. Like, a lot of people like make it seem like, but I'm like, literally, like, it comes out of nowhere. Like, I'm a person that can't smoke weed. I definitely can't smoke sativa. But I researched that if I was to smoke weed, I'm supposed to smoke like indica strains, because it's a downer. Mm-hmm. So that would be similar to like a Xanax, but like, you know, hey, sativa's like that's the better one that usually people want to smoke. I can't even do it no more because that makes my anxiety worse. Mm-hmm. You know, so just kind of being transparent like that. Like, I never was a smoker. It was more like it's recreational, we're having fun type of thing. But like, I can't even do it because it's like, it will make it worse. I would literally have a panic attack.
That's what.
So
yeah,
like,
but people have to be so comfortable. Everyone thinks that they're being themselves, and I thought that for a really long time too. Like, oh, I'm just being me. When I was like really angry and I was going through all these things, like, I'm just being me. And now that I'm really actually being me, it's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to, you know, have these feelings, but us, especially as Black people and Black women, we're like, no, I'm just gonna get through it. I'm gonna fight through this. Yeah. I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna talk to anybody. I'm not gonna do these things, and it's just unnecessary. A lot of times we put ourselves through unnecessary stress because we're trying to live up to this stigma.
Exactly.
What was
we're living up to other people.
I can't even think about it. It was when Will Smith, he played in that movie about CTE with the NFL concussion. Will Smith played concussion.
Oh, okay.
And when he got with the woman who ended up being his wife, he said, "Need is need." It's okay if you need something. If you need something, you need it, and then you keep it moving, no matter whether it's money, food, love, something. But you have to acknowledge that need and move on. We help you, and then you go from there. But we don't take that time to say, "Yeah, I need some help." It's okay.
Yeah,
I have no issue asking anybody for anything. All you can do is say no. You say, then I'll move on from there and do what I got to do.
And that's what I like have to get more comfortable doing, because I'm like one of those people, I don't like asking people for stuff.
So all Black women are. We live in this. We can do it.
Yeah, I'm like trying to like, I'm like I'm the true epitome of like, you a real strong Black woman. Like, that's me. Like, I've been raised to be independent in nature, but like, no, like, I've been having to reprogram myself. Like, it's okay to need people. You know, it's okay to ask for stuff. Like you said, what's the worst? People are going to say no. Like, it's nothing you've never not heard before. But the big proponent that we really want you guys to focus on is that awareness piece, because when you become aware, like, I even talk to my friends about it when I try to help them out, like, just become aware of the fact of like, you're mad, why the thing is making you mad, and then move on from there. I love meditation because that alone time really gives me time to get to know myself and really understand why I can be at work and somebody says something that rubs me the wrong way. It's always something deeper. It's never the surface issue. So if somebody says like, oh, like, you know, I like your hair better short than long. Why would I be, and that's not really something I'm bothered by, but like some people are. Why am I so bothered by that? Like, ask yourself, why are you so bothered? Are you subconscious about having short hair? Is that why it bothered you so much? Even though this person really was kind of giving you a compliment, you felt like it was a jab. you know, because you felt like you was killing it with the bundles, but they like, girl, you need to wear your regular hair. You know what I'm saying?
You know what
like,
I realized?
But you was bothered by it.
And I realized it's the hard way in my young years that you can't tell people how to feel. You can't tell people how to feel. Things that affect me, I'm sure definitely don't affect a lot of other people, and you know, and whatever it is. But you have to acknowledge, like you said, you have to acknowledge those feelings. Once you can actually really acknowledge them, and then move on from there. But we try to, so often we just try to be somebody that we're not. You know, we're just trying so hard to make sure we put on this image, and because of social media now, a lot of times it's you know, everybody's like, good vibes. Don't let anybody feel you. Like, I literally stray away from people who only talk about good vibes. Like, you talk about good vibes, but you beefing with everybody every other day. How is that possible? I tell people all the time, words, I'm a writer. I write and I read. That's what I do. Words are the most important thing that you can think of. When people say sticks and stones might break my bones, and words never hurt me, it's probably the dumbest statement I ever heard. Yeah. I don't care about no broken bones. I got a broken bone from a domestic violence relationship I got two plates in my ankle right now. I don't think twice about this ankle. But when I think about words that trigger me from things that people have said to me, that's something that's always stuck with me. Physically, because it's a mental thing. You can cover up scars. You can cover up, you know what I'm saying, a black eye. I know it sounds terrible, but it's true. But those emotional things, no, seriously, you can't let that go. But it's like, but what it is like, it all ties back to mental health. Everything is mental. I'm very big on consciousness. It's a lot of people that's not conscious out here. I definitely consider myself to be more on the conscious side. But that's because I choose to be. Like, I chose to learn myself. I chose to become more aware within myself. I wasn't always the most aware, you know what I mean? But it's a mental thing. And that's what people don't get. Like, your brain controls everything. Like, your brain determines what's going to hurt you more. Like you said, the physical, or like, it really is a mental thing. And so if you are even when you think about people who have physical illness, let's use cancer, for example, because cancer is a big thing that people always talk about. But when people have these things, what do they always go back to? If your mind is right, you got to fight through. Yeah. So mentally, you have to fight through this. If you don't fight through it mentally, people say that all the time. But they have older grandparents or parents who are, you know, passing away. They say, oh, she gave up. You know, mentally she was done. She was ready to go. So your people really doesn't matter to a certain extent. If your mentality is there, if you can fight through love and you're loved through a battle and all those kind of things, that's what matters the most. Your mind is literally the most powerful tool that you have. It really is, though. Like, and that's why I'm like, you never realize how, like, when you're told when you're a kid, like, I remember my mom used to always tell me, you can do whatever you put your mind to. Literally the key to life, the secret to success. Like, if you really think you can do that shit, like, you will do that shit. Like, I've literally, everything that I've ever put my mind to, set to in life, I have accomplished. I have. And, you know, I can't, like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, like, I never knew, like, I changed my mind so many times. I literally, exactly what I'm doing today is exactly what I wanted to do when I was a kid. I'm so serious. I'm probably, like, one of the very few people, because apparently that's not the case for everybody, but it was because I set my mind to it. I struggled through college, but I knew, like, I'm going to do this. I don't care. I got out of college. The job market for journalism was very, you know, very skimpy. It was very competitive. Like, you're not going to make no money first, you know, so I had to decide, like, okay, well, I'm going to still do this, but I'm going to just do it on my own accord. I'm still going to work a day job, but I'm still going to do it because that's what I love to do. So, and eventually this is all I will be doing. So it's just, again, it's a mindset thing, and that's how you're able to stay focused. But just an example from the pain aspect as well. I use people that bruise easily. So you ever, like, been around somebody, like, my mom bruises easily, I bruise easily, and, like, you, like, randomly, like, notice, like, you got a bruise. Like, girl, what happened to you? But you don't even feel it. It doesn't hurt, but it's there. You see it because you're not really, like, thinking about that. You're not really like, oh, this bruise hurts. Serious injury, and they're like, oh, I didn't even feel that. I didn't even think about that. It didn't even matter. But the first time somebody says something to them that they don't like about them and they feel some kind of way, they're gonna remember that. I mean, just talking to my dad. My dad's 63. His older sister is, my aunt is like 66, 67. They were arguing. I mean, it was funny. It was a joke about something that he said to her in middle school. He was talking about 50 years. He was still hurt about it. That someone has continued to carry that. But the only time people really think about physical scars or physical things that happen to them is when somebody brings it up. But those mental things stick with you. They stick in your heart. They stick in your mind. They stick in your body. Like, the mental things will cause physical things, and people don't understand that. Mental stress causes you to be sick and have high blood pressure.
And tired. Yeah, and tired and stuff.
And so when we talk about, again, kind of back to the positive vibes, people, they say positive vibes only, yet you're spewing out hate. Yeah, you're always talking about how you can't mess with this person and you cutting everybody off and you doing all this.
Right.
You can't be speaking positivity into your life if that's how you're living. You have to, you have to match your action with your words. And you have to watch what you say. You got to watch your mouth. My campaign for 2018 is to watch your mouth. You have to. You just can't say
you speaking to existence
people because you're not in control of your emotions or in yourself, because those words are so important. What you say to your children, what you say to your spouse, what you say to your friends, even your parents. I spent a lot of years saying some hurtful things to my mother who didn't deserve that. And now that I'm older and now that we have a really good relationship, I'm like, shit, I said that at 17. You know what I mean? Like,
girl, but that is so very true. What you put out into the atmosphere will come to fruition. That's why I even try to watch myself when, like, and my mom been telling me this for years. Even when I like make jokes like, shoot, I'm broke. I really try not to say that now, because it's like what you keep repeating in your mind and putting out into the atmosphere, you make yourself subconsciously believe. So if you never think you're gonna have money, you're not gonna ever have money. And now I honestly, because I'm conscious about it, I can look at other people who really haven't gone anywhere in life, and I look at how like their mentality is and how they really just think that they can't do certain things. But it's like, yes, you can. Like, I be calling people out about it. I be like, oh, I can't do this. I can't travel. Yes, you can. I will show you how to, like, but whatever you feel.
And it's super like, you have to believe that you can. You're in no matter what you're going on, like some sort of depressive state, or, you know, whether it's a seasonal depression or just something you're going through, like, you don't see the end goal. You can't, no. You know, people always talk about silver lining and whatever the hell that means to somebody. Like, girl, I don't even know what that is. And people who have gone through that and don't really understand that those are the phrases they throw out to you. But it's like, there's a lot more I got to kind of go through to see the silver lining. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of steps I got to reach before I can get there. But still, going back, acknowledgement is still the first one. It's like AA. Yeah, they say it all the time. The first thing you got to do is acknowledge what you got going on. And once you acknowledge it, from there, you have to make a decision. So if you acknowledge that you're depressed, if you acknowledge that you're anxious, if you acknowledge that you're schizophrenic or whatever it is you're going on, you acknowledge that during these winter months you have seasonal depression, then you have to act from there. Either you're going to dwell on your stuff, either you're going to be in that sorrow, or you're going to make some changes. Other than that, no. And a lot of times, and I wish that we could depend on people. I wish that we could say that this person is going to help us get through it. You got to find it within yourself. And it's hard.
Absolutely.
It's hard. It's going to take time. It took me.
And I always tell people, like, it's okay to feel like nobody has my back but me, because you really do have to start there and understand that if you don't care, nobody else is going to care. Don't expect nobody else to care about you when you don't care about yourself and you don't have any self-love. I'm a very big self-love aficionado. I feel like that has gotten me through majority of the things in my life, because I had to care about myself more. You know how many times I get up and I'm like, the anxiety is just trying to be live and kicking. I'm like, nope. Our number one focus is we're going to be happy today, because happiness really is a choice. It really is. Like, but you have to be okay.
Through life.
So I be talking to myself all the time. I be on my laptop like, okay, like, I be talking to myself all the time. I'm not ashamed of it. People make it seem like, oh, it's like a crazy thing. No, you literally have to talk to yourself. You ain't got to be, talking back, answering. It's literally like, even if you're in your mind talking to yourself, talk to yourself so that that's the dominant voice, and all those other voices can't be heard. Because we got about 20, everybody got about 20 different voices in their head. I don't care if you want to acknowledge that or not. And that's where that anxiety comes from, is because it's like, and it's like, you need to just quiet those other voices, focus on that one voice, your conscious voice, and you tell yourself how your day is going to go. That really does work for me. I'm like, today going to be a wonderful day. I put it on the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. You never, girl, I be getting free stuff.
And so
somebody been to bought me free dinner. It be all types of stuff happening. I'll be like, look at, it's a high vibration day. Look at this. But you gotta set your mind to it right when you get up. Like, the smallest things, but I'll be grateful for it. You have to be grateful. You really have to be like, gratitude and being positive and just deciding like, okay, I'm waking up. It feel like I'm in a shitty mood, but going forward from this moment, we not even, like, I be talking to myself like, girl, I be like, girl, we not even about to do it today. I'm not about to play with you, because that ego that ego will get you together. She be tripping. I be like at work, she be saying something about somebody. I'm like, we're not about to do that. We, in my mind, like, we just not even, no. Like, because I really be trying to grow as a person. And, like, you got to do that. You got to get yourself in check.
It's really hard being the bigger person and doing the right thing. What people don't understand about doing the right thing is it's a long-term game, right? So we live in an instant society. That's why people are just willing to do whatever, whenever, at any time. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Passion, I see you. Alana, that's my old Hey,
Alana says she's getting up.
That's
she
Passion. Alana, her middle name. That's my old name. That's my boo. Hey, girl. It's hard doing the right thing. I'm in a lot of situations right now. I have to be the bigger person, right? And I get it. Not being a bigger person is easier. It's a little more fun at that moment. And you can do all those things, but for your own mental,
that petty moment.
Exactly. I learned the hard way that, you know, being angry and doing all those things weren't getting me the results that I really wanted. So, yep, I kind of got you back at that moment, but whatever that situation was. You think about girlfriends, keying their man car, busting their windows. You know, you think about that. She say, you know, I bust the windows out your car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She say, it didn't mean my broken heart, but at that moment, I was good. But we think about the long term, like, in real life, girl, you can go to jail. This ain't no music video. The police ain't gonna be like, oh, you mimicking Jasmine Sullivan, her music video for fake? Like, there are real consequences to your actions and real consequences. People have died because of words. People have got killed because they said the wrong thing to the wrong people. You gotta watch your mouth.
And people don't know how to handle it. Yeah, people be like they really take, like, it's people that really take stuff to heart. Like Dave Chappelle said it best. We living in such a sensitive time. People's ears are brittle, like even more brittle than they've ever been. So like, yeah, you can literally throw a little bit of some stuff that you thought wasn't even nothing. You throw a little bit of shade, you could be shot tomorrow. Girl, I ain't playing. Like, you could be like, oh, like, girl, like, where you get that dress from? And just make the wrong facial expression, and they might come back and shoot your ass up. Like, it's like real out here. Like, it's a real thing, and people never think about. They just think, oh, that person crazy. But no, like, it's a mental thing. It's a self-esteem thing. Like, people be so bothered by stuff because they really haven't taken that time out to get to know.
Not acknowledging what they're going through. Humans are too advanced. When you think about animals and the way that they live, I know there's people are like, well, that's so random. But we think about, like, a lot of animals, when they come out, they already know how to walk. They already know how to eat. Some animals, they live, their parents are like, once they're born, they're out. Go on about your business. Fly free. As humans, we have to teach our children how to do any and everything that they do in their life. And that's the same thing that goes for us adults. We have to teach. We have to train our minds. We have to train our bodies. And now that we're so far away from where we came from how Earth really was and those kind of things, like, we have a lot going on in here. We have a lot of different things. We have a lot more distractions. We have a lot more different people in our ear. Technology has caused us to be just completely different people. And every time I hear people when they say, oh, it's just Facebook, oh, it's just Instagram, it's this, but it's like, girl, this has changed your whole life. Instagram has changed the whole way you act, the whole way you think, the whole way you move, the whole way your relationship is going. These things are impacting us way more than we see. Anything that we read and that we say, it's the same as words. It's things we put in our mind, we put in our body, we put in our soul. It's the same as food. That's why certain people, you think about really, you know, eccentric people, like an Erykah Badu and those things, like, yeah, they say all the time, only listen to certain music, only talk to certain people. And I get that now. Because you can't allow these people in your space because they will make you depressed.
Yeah, impressions are real. It's just like anybody that's a content marketer, you'll know like what the word impressions means. Like, we see it a lot. If you watch your analytics, we are impressionable as humans. That's where they got that from. So like, they have it in a data machine for us to say, okay, if I put out a Facebook ad or do a Facebook live video, I'm gonna watch the analytics. I'm gonna see how many impressions, you know, and the impression number is always different from like the viewer. If you notice, like,
Instagram, if you have a business profile, Instagram,
but you have
impressions, you can have 1,000 followers, but 500,000 impressions. That's the thing. Like,
isn't that interesting? So, but that's how our brains work as humans. You come into contact with people every day, and when you actually come in contact and when you actually engage with them, because it's that engagement piece, and you also see that in content marketing, it makes an impression on you. That's why you do have to be careful with who you hang out with, who you're around, who you're having conversations with, what type of music you listen to. Because even if you think it's not making an impression on you, it is.
As much as people try to want to deny it. When they say birds of a feather flock together, that makes sense. Not that you're going to have all the traits. I hear my daughter waking up. She crying. She my husband though. Not that you're going to have all the traits, of your friends or your lover, but there's a reason why you're friends. There's a reason why you're lovers. And you have to kind of figure out what that balance is. Does this person make me do this? Do they maybe do the good things or bad things? Because just because somebody, they might do certain things, but if you engage in the bad things and you engage in the good, it just really depends on who you are. Like, you have to be careful about the company.
Yeah.
I know he hates me. My mom was right the whole time. Like, I don't like that girl. You ever had a friend, your mom would be like, she ain't the one.
Right. It never was wrong.
Your daddy be like,
never was wrong.
He ain't the one. You like, but I love him. I love him. And then 2 years later, you're like, oh, daddy, you was right.
Exactly.
It's all about protecting your energy and your space. And it's hard. It's super hard because we get lonely and you want to be with people. And I'm not necessarily saying it in a romantic relationship, but even friends. Friends are really important.
Yeah. Even
with family. And I know everybody wants their mother and their father and their cousins and their aunt to be the best people, but that's not always it. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you do have to distance yourself from your mother. She might not be the best person for you. Your father might not be the best person for you. And my favorite thing is logic over emotion. Emotions, you take over people, but you got to think logically when making these decisions, when having these different relationships.
You have to always choose yourself. And I think that is a big part in mental health. I think people get that mixed up with being selfish. It's not selfish at all. You have to choose yourself, because I always say you can't pour from an empty cup. So, just bringing it back to circle about the topic that was at hand today, seasonal affective disorder. You mentioned people get lonely. Mm-hmm. I'm writing a post about cuffing season. That's coming out next.
Yes, you see it all the time.
It ties together.
Christmas now, social media is really freaking funny all the time. Everybody's like, okay, I could be your boyfriend for the day, $100 for this, because people are so concerned about their families feeling like, well, why don't you have a husband or a wife? Or why are you lonely every Christmas? I'm not lonely just because I'm not being with somebody who doesn't deserve my time and or attention.
Exactly.
But the whole holiday season is about love, and I think that's why I love Friendsgiving. I never really had one, even though I have real long friends. So any of my friends are watching this, you B-words need to give me a Friendsgiving. But because we're like family, but I love the idea of Friendsgiving. Everybody doesn't have family. Sometimes your parents can't be your family, and that's unfortunate, but it's true. Sometimes you're not going to be close to your siblings. You're not going to be close to your grandmother. You're not going to be close to your own mother and your father. But family can come in a lot of different things. And I tell people all the time, people talk about my family being a Cosby's. They still say this. My parents were married for 40 years. They've been in the same house, all of that. But my parents have adopted so many other people. I literally see people from middle school and be like, yo, your mom still throw those Kwanzaa parties? I'm like, what? How do you remember this from third grade? But because my parents they know the idea of family in general, they don't mind saying, yeah, okay, this your friend. Yeah, we're going to include them in those celebrations. So I think that's something important that people should do. Sometimes you got to let it go. Yep, your mama not going to be it. Yep, your daddy not going to be it. But find those people. Find those friends that you can always call. Find those, even if it is a lover, find that person. If it's a healthy situation, let them be your family. It's okay.
I absolutely agree with that. I was talking about that with my mom the other day. I'm like, I never knock anybody, because I see people talk about it all the time where they don't want to be around their family. That's
we see this every holiday season.
Yeah.
Every Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of that. Yeah.
If it disturbs your peace of mind, I don't care who it is, family, friends, like, rearrange some stuff. If the puzzle piece does not fit in your puzzle, let it go. Let it go. Seriously.
Get a new piece,
about it's not about always cutting people off, because people mistake, that's two different things. People mistake that for, I'm cutting this person off. First of all, I'm a side eye you if you always get into it with somebody. I am. I am.
We got to realize,
I'm be like, okay, so.
You know what we don't want to admit? That a lot of times it's us.
Oh, so for sure. People don't never want to admit that.
If you continue to see that cycle, that every relationship you have, every encounter you have with somebody, move. I'm on a live video. My husband's friend is here for his birthday. I mean,
okay.
Crazy. If you see that you're repeating the same cycle, it's you. I tell you all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
2 times to do something to you. So the first time, you don't know that's gonna happen, right? No matter if it's a friend, a lover, or anything, move. They do something to you. You weren't expecting that. Now, if you decide to forgive them, and they do that again, Okay, now everything after that, that's on you. It's so easy for us to blame all these things that happen to us on other people because we don't want to admit that we were wrong. You can't continue to let people hurt you and do all these negative and bad things to you and take them back. That's on you. And that happens a lot of times with seasonal affective disorder. Like what happens is you get lonely, so you go find that same boyfriend like you had last year. And you've had the same boyfriend you had 2 years ago.
Be having a whole boyfriend 4 years on and off, stuff I used to do when I was younger. I talk about it in Life I talk about it in Life After 25, my book that came out last year. I get very transparent. So if you're somebody that hasn't read it, that's the type of stuff I talk about in that book, which is more so me just taking accountability of like, it was a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it was a lot of stuff that was probably preventable, but it taught you a lot and you had to learn. You had to go out and bump your head yourself, stuff that your mom had already warned you about, but you just had to go through it yourself. But it made me a better person. And I also am not just pointing things out like, oh, these people did this stuff. I'm acknowledging my place in the situation. You know, because like you said, people are going to do what you allow them to do.
And once you find out, like, oh, that was me. I let you do this. I let you do that. You won't accept all this other stuff. You won't be trying to look for your boyfriend on the internet so your family won't feel no kind of way. And it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You know, you get defensive when you not in love, you don't have this, you have that. But you need to be able to stand up for yourself, approach your family like it's okay. So I'm not about to be dealing with no more BS men, so you could just have them around on Christmas and things like Thanksgiving. Like, no, we're not going to do that anymore. This is
right, because everything has to be a look. Everything's a look
this is our year. So 2018 is a year of accountability and transparency. We're not playing. No more.
And I love that we're in a time of transparency where now I don't have to like worry about being myself. Like I'm not a fake person. I love that everybody can now feel comfortable and being themselves. Hopefully they're not stealing somebody else's, I don't know, because we know that that's going to happen. But I love that I don't have to worry about like, oh, like I'm supposed to be a journalist or a news reporter, so I have to talk a certain type of way. Like, I'm going to kick it with y'all real, and y'all either going to take the message or leave the message. But I'm going to keep doing me regardless because I'm still a work in progress, and I'm a human being. So I'm not here to, be like, oh, I'm so above everybody. It's like I'm trying to figure shit out too. That's like my mantra for 2018. Look, I'm trying to figure it out too.
Don't be all be looking crazy out here. I am all about people. We have a whole host of things coming up this year just about mental health and self-care and what it really is. Like, we got a lot of steps that we need to take, but
absolutely. Well, definitely keep us posted. Make sure you tag me in it, whatever, so we can get it shared and stuff like that, because I know you're very passionate about it, as I am myself. So I'm excited just to see what else you have in store. I definitely have some more collaborations, and I'll be bringing a lot more people on live just to kind of open up those conversations, because it definitely is an issue in the Black
community. Once we start,
but yeah,
well, as journalists, we gonna keep talking.
Oh yeah, we gonna unfold the story.
They talk about us having an agenda. That's my agenda. I'm pushing it. Everything I do, I'm saying it. We going to therapy. We doing whatever. We out here.
It's all for the greater good. Mm-hmm. We are doing this for your greater good. We promise you. So
if we can talk about how many babies Kim Kardashian had with Kanye and Sarah and my mothers, we can talk about how we need to get our lives together. We need to start dealing with real stuff that matters, so we can stop killing and stealing and having people commit suicide, having depressed moms who can't take care of their kids, and depressed fathers who can't take care of their kids. Like, this is it's cool. We'll be all right.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I said, my one tip, and Rachel will give hers before we leave, is just start meditating. Just, if you're not even, get a meditation app, just start talking to yourself. Really, like, meditation teaches you how to listen to yourself so that you can receive that guidance, from God, from the higher power. So you can quiet yourself and really listen to what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If you need help, now is the time to get into the meditation so you can listen to the guidance. You know what I mean? And also just getting to know yourself. Like, you can't be around people all the time. I've been telling people this for years. I know some people don't like being by this. Look, your friends want you to go out every weekend. It's cool. It's cool to miss out on a party or two. It really is. Because sometimes you just sit in your room, get a prayer closet, whatever it is you're going to do, whatever your thing is. But sit in your room, light some candles, and really just start addressing some of your issues. Like, why am I still hurt about something that happened 10 years ago? Why, like, really start addressing and talking to yourself and finding out how you can move past certain
If you
things,
find
because
yourself,
it's too many of us holding on to stuff.
I've been out of high school.
Yeah, it's like, it's too many of us harboring hate towards people. It's too, like, let it go. Like, learn how to focus on love so, like, more positive things can come into your life.
My thing for 2018, I've been, okay, so my therapist told me I need to start watching more comedy. Once I start telling, I'm into, like, a lot of crime stuff and, like, death and all this crazy stuff. She was like, girl, you need to watch something funny. So I've been watching these comedies, but me and my husband just watched Cat Williams, and he did the thing where he talked about being in tune with your star player. That's where we all need to get in. Like, you have to look out for yourself. You have to make sure that you are whole and 100% before you can be with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Even with your kids. Like, people who have kids, all they do, they just focus on their kids, on their kids, on their kids. So when their kids grow up and go away, and really your kids grow up pretty early. When your kids get 8 or 9 and they get friends and they want to go somewhere, and then now you're looking lonely. Now you don't want your kids to do things because you've invested your whole life into them. You need to invest your life in yourself. Once you start doing that, I mean, really invest. Everybody I want to be a good wife. I want to be a good husband, but you're not a good person before you got to be a good person before you can do any of those things. Yeah. So be in tune with yourself. Once you do that, everything else fall in place.
Absolutely. So I am just going to wrap this up then. Again, this was Rachel Simone of Rachel Simone Media. I am Misha Mahan of Ambitious Mix LLC. The new website is up today, motivatedwithmisha.com. So you guys can continue to get motivated with me. Learn more about mental health awareness via my website, as well as just kind of find having a place to go to if you're specifically a content creator, because my target now is specifically women that are content creators, women in the media, because we definitely process things differently. And also just because women suffer more. But like, yeah, if you're a woman in business, I definitely want to help you get motivated with me so we can all win and succeed out here. So we will see you next time, because I'm sure me and Rachel will be teaming up a lot more.
I'm so excited.
We have a lot to say. Yes, we'll be bringing on the Pink Momster if she's still watching, because I saw she pop in at one point. So that'll be something fun to talk about. But yes, I'll be, again, back doing the lives every week. I probably won't have a guest every week, but we'll definitely at least be getting a guest once a month. And I'll also be participating in some other people's lives. So as I always say, stay ambitious, stay motivated.
Bye.
Bye.